Hi.
Hi, Dawn. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Miss Perry, I am so glad that you've taken the time to talk with us today. You work in every genre, sometimes all in the same film. This one, though, for Boo 2 or Madea Halloween, it seems like you're having so much fun. Like it comes through on the screen.
Yeah,
Are you?
we are. We are having fun. It's just something about working with Cassie and Patrice Lovely. Those women, when we get in a room, we are just having a ball. Yeah, yeah.
How much ad-libbing are you guys
A
doing?
lot. There's a lot because when we put the costumes on, these people just show up and say all kinds of things, and it's so funny. You think it's funny while we're shooting. You should see what's happening in the outtakes that couldn't be in the movie. We couldn't even put them at the end of the movie because the movie would have been rated R. It's hysterical. Yeah.
This is laugh out loud, foot stumping laughter when Madea is on the screen.
Yeah, and Joe.
And Joe.
And Joe.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
yes. Joe needs, I'm going to put it out there,
Yeah.
Joe needs his own movies.
I think it's coming.
You think
I
it's
think
coming?
it's coming.
I hope it's coming.
I think it's coming. Joe is going to have his own moment. Joe's going to Vegas or something. Yeah.
Another thing I've realized is that all of these characters, they allow you to do like a 360-degree view of every point in a story. Is that how you see it when you are writing this? Are you falling into character and seeing how they play off of each other so that you can provide that for the audience?
Wow, I never even thought about that. I just write what feels right and how does it, what does it feel like to me? So yeah, no, I never thought about that.
Yeah, it sure seems like it's everyone has a different take on it, and you are espousing different opinions from different people in America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's what I took from it. And a lot of times, I guess art is just art, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you take a different approach to your TV stuff? I have a podcast, and we talk a lot about the have and the have-nots.
Yeah, it's a much different approach. I think if you look at all the shows, they're all very, very different. Like, if Loving You is different from the Have and Have-Nots, and Madea is different from. I have a new movie called Acrimony coming out. It's incredible. It's a drama with Taraji, but yeah, it's definitely a different approach because but the same approach in the writing because all those characters are talking to me. When I sit down, I clear everything out and sit down and start writing the Have and Have-Nots. I love listening to them in my head when I start writing.
Yeah.
So when they start, because I know the actors when they get together, it's going to be amazing.
So when your process when you sit down to write is you have to be completely finished with one before you go to the other, or are you kind of neurotic and you go between all of
No,
them?
I don't cross-pollinate. So once I'm done with one season of one show, I can go on to the next. And what bothers me though is when one bunch of characters start pushing into my head, when the others are still talking, I'm like, and then it takes me a couple of weeks to really get them out of my head. So I have to finish writing, take a couple of weeks break before I can start the others.
Are we gonna have some mashups in the future?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Have Veronica Harrington show up in a
On the
Madea
Columbia's
movie?
role? Oh, a Madea movie? I don't know. I tell you, Eddie shows up in Medea's funeral though.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
so that should be interesting.
that'd be interesting. So, what is next? You talk about Acrimony, and we've talked about how you work in all of these different genres. Is there one that you prefer, a lane that you prefer?
I can't necessarily say there's one that I prefer. I'm just whatever I'm doing at the time. I'm really enjoying. Like I'm so excited about Acrimony because it's so different for me and it's so exciting. It's that one's way different. So I just want to see what the audience reaction to it. But it's really great.
Okay, you're getting some. You're acting a lot in things that aren't Tyler Perry productions. You know, when I saw you in Star Trek, I was like, Tyler.
Yeah.
We all feel like we know you, so we just call you by your first name.
Yeah. Showed up there for a minute. Yeah, it's been great. Gone Girl was really good.
Yeah.
I'm working on something right now. I'm really excited about that. I film in December too, so it's gonna be great.
Okay, and so I was watching Have and Have Nots. I have a recording on it, and your name on the credits comes up even with the music.
Yeah.
You're writing the music.
Yeah. Elvin Ross and I, Elvin, he's done all the music for all the plays. We've been writing together for 20 years in these shows. So yeah.
I was wanting to ask you about telling the stories of women, because through your Madea character, it feels like to me, and maybe I'm reading too deeply again, that you're telling the stories of these women that you've known.
Yeah,
through your life.
You're definitely right about that. For the first few years, I didn't notice it until I went back and started looking at all of my work. I was talking to my mother. I was raised by my mother and my two sisters, and me being the youngest boy at the time. I watched him go through hell. So a lot of the things that I was talking about in these movies, I realized I could just remove these characters and put her in, and that me watching the things that I did, I was talking to her. So you definitely nailed that. Absolutely right.
You are known for screening your movies in advance.
Mm-hmm.
What's changing?
Well, you know what? I wanted to bring them to the audience. I wanted to bring them to the people.
Okay.
So what I wasn't screening for, is there were, in LA, what they do is they get a bunch of critics in the room to come and watch the movie. I'm like, no, I'm gonna bring it to the people and let them judge. So yeah.